Hey guys, welcome back to the table. My name is Dagget, this is Dagget Designs, and I'd like to welcome you back to a brand new drawing video. It is Easter long weekend, so happy Easter to those of you who celebrate, and I thought today we would design something fitting to the tradition, and we would draw a traditional style Jeuss Christ tattoo flash. So, we're going to start off with an oval shape, sort of like an upside down egg. It's going to be a little bit more thin towards the bottom here. It's a little slimmer towards the bottom, like so. Now I'm going to drop in a line, a curved line that runs around the front of our shape, like so. And I'm going to put in a line about halfway down across the front of our shape here for our eyebrow line. I'm going to drop down halfway between that line and the chin. Put another line in for our nose, roughly. And then just drop another line halfway down from there for the mouth. These are just some rough guidelines. Now I'm going to split the face off the side like this, just using a line for the side plane. Come back about halfway from that, and you can drop in your ear. Now in this case, I just want a very basic ear shape, almost just like a C shape. And you can just add this little squiggle for the inside of the ear. Now to start this one off, I'm going to be doing the eyebrows and the nose area first to sort of set the face up. So we're going to come slightly left of the center line and draw in an eyebrow shape, which is just a long curve, comes up and back down like so. That is going to have a line that drops forward and down slightly like this. Now you can come to the other side of your center line, do your other eyebrow, coming off to the other side, like so. Now that line is going to drop down further, come forward a little bit, and then loop back like this. That's going to create your nose. And then just behind this, you're going to come forward and make a little loop and then come back around like so to create your nostril. Now from here to drop in the eyes, I'm going to come down from the back and the front of the eyebrow just to give me a rough sort of sizing. And I'm going to put in pretty much just like an almond shape for now, like so. Above the eye, just put in a little line for our eyelid. And I might put in a couple of these little like wrinkle lines underneath. And you can drop in a couple of circles for your iris and your pupil. Coming to the other side of our nose here, I'm going to do the same thing. Alright, now from here, just coming directly down from our nose a little bit, I'm going to drop in a couple of ovals that meet in the middle, like so, and a little circle in between them. Okay, this is going to give us our top lip shape. You can pretty much trace that top line almost exactly how it is, like so. And then the inside line, trace over it like so. And then for the bottom lip, I like to just add this sort of half a peanut shape. So it's just got this little dip in the center, and it's just a curve that comes underneath it like that. Just underneath the mouth, I'm going to put in a little line like so. That's just going to give us like the chin sort of shape, or the top of the chin there. And then we can start to sort of add in the sides of our cheeks and stuff. So just going to come down from where the eye is, come out a little bit, come back in for the cheek. Same from the other side here, at the side of the face here. You can add in your little cheekbone there, like this. Doesn't have to be too extreme or sunken in or anything. Now just above the lip, I'm going to add in a mustache. Just going to use a long curved line like so. And then add lots of little lines to the inside of it, just following the shape. Then you can come from center again, moving in the other direction, and do the same thing like that. Now for the beard portion, I'm going to add in a couple of circles right at the base of our chin here, like this. These are going to become the curled areas of the beard. Starting in the center, I'm going to spiral around and then come up to the face like this. And then you can do these little overlapping shapes, just coming back towards the ear. and that's going to create a beard shape like so. You can come around from the other side and do the same thing. Now we're also going to be adding in a crown of thorns. I'm going to keep this one fairly large and fairly simple. It's going to go from about here to the edge of the head because we've got to include the hair as well. You can start by just putting in a long wavy line. Now you can double up on that line like so, and then you're going to do a long wavy line coming in the other direction like so, and you can also double up on that line, and then you're pretty much just going to do the same thing, repeating this sort of wavy pattern. And each time I do this, it sort of looks a little bit different, and it tends to look a little unique, and that's sort of okay. That's kind of what we want. You can split off from the different sections as well to create these different loops. I think that's going to be alright. Just this last bit needs to loop around, so as this comes back it just loops down. Now from here I'm going to start adding in the hair. So I think I want to have some hair that comes around the ear, so just these long S curves that sort of come around the ear. You can add in some smaller curves to that if you'd like, coming up the side of the face. Now for some sections of the hair I'm going to be doing the same as the beard there, adding in these curls of hair like this, and you can sort of do a combination of those different types of hairs for your Jesus here. Now from here, if you'd like, you can add some hair to the other side. It's going to be much the same process wise, bringing hair around the side of the head here like this, and then you can come down a little bit, and I sort of like to make the hair on this side of the face a little bit longer coming down the neck. I just think aesthetically that looks nice. Now from here I'm just adding thorns into our thorn vines here. They're just little curved peaks, there's nothing really specific about them. But try to fill in all these big gap areas with as many thorns as you'd like, because we are going to be blacking those areas out. So I sort of like to put as many thorns as I can into those little spaces. It just helps to cover up how much black I'm using in those areas, but it prevents you from having to do little hair details in there, which is sort of okay if you were doing this a lot bigger, but at this size I don't really want to be struggling to fit tiny little hair details on the inside of the thorns there, or the vines. Once you've done your thorns, you can add in the hair at the top of the head here. It's going to be pretty simple. Just long wavy lines towards the front of the head like this. Quite simple, but it's sort of just, it's like his hair's sort of just pushed back before putting the crown on. It's like the back part of the hair there. Coming back from here, I'm going to add in just a couple of lines of a, what would you call it, like a robe or something, like so, coming down from behind the neck. And you can come down from the other side as well if you'd like so. At the base of the neck here, put in this little V shape and another little shape on the side here. One last thing I want to do is add in some little blood droplets just coming from the top of the face there, that sort of just represent the blood dripping from the thorns there. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to some tracing paper. Now while I go ahead and do that, let's take a look at my latest Procreate brush set, the Big Cat brush set. This is the big set of Japanese and traditional style big cat brushes with over 45 hand-drawn original stamp brushes for use in Procreate. This set includes 18 different head stamps including tigers, lions, cougars and panthers, 8 different paws, both front and back limbs. It includes skin rip claw brushes, 5 full body big cats, as well as 7 background stamps, including wave sketches and floral elements. Now for the first time, I'm also including these sketch layouts. There's 8 different sketch layouts from heads to bodies. I've included these guides that will allow you to layer your own big cat designs over the top of them with an excellent underlying structure and shape, letting you really flow with your own creativity. Now, the tools in this pack are not only perfect for mocking up tattoo designs, creating coloring pages, or your own unique artwork, but they also serve as an artist reference and will help teach you how to construct these big cats. And I took the time to carefully design and draw each and every stamp in this pack to my standard of drawing, so you know you're getting quality artwork. Now this brush set is available on its own or in a combination set with the Big Oni brush set, one of my best selling brush sets. You can go ahead and find all of my brush sets, including this one, over at daggetdesigns.com.au. Link in the description. Alright, as you can see, I've gone ahead and transferred our picture over to... Now, as you can see, I've transferred our sketch over to some tracing paper. And I'm just using a Prismacolor black for today's coloring or shading. And I've also got a Staedtler sharpener here to keep a fine point on my pencil. So I'm going to start off by shading in the hair, I think. So I'm going to start with the mustache here. Now, much like whip shading or spit shading here, we're going to do a solid black value down to where I want it to stop. And then I can shade up a little bit to like a slightly grey to sort of feather that edge. And then bring that shade even lighter towards the end there. It's actually going to give us a really similar look to if we did this with inks. Now the reason I'm using pencils is I decided to do, you know, a small little black and grey style portrait here, traditional style. And for this sort of stuff, I think I just like to use pencil because it's a little bit easier. Now for the larger areas of hair, you pretty much got to think wherever it curves there would be a highlight point. So we're going to start off darker at the base here, like so. I'm going to go to a mid-tone now, just by pressing a little bit lighter. Go to a lighter tone, and then I'm just going to pull that out gently to go back to white there. Okay, so that's going to leave like a highlight spot in the middle of the hair. And then we can come with a little bit of grey just off the other end as well. Maybe black off this inside one. Alrighty, and that's going to leave us a little strip of a highlight through the center there. And you can really smooth this out so that you get a nice smooth gradient from black through to grey and then through to white for your highlight color there. And that's essentially the technique I'll be using to do all of the hair around the face. Now I've done all the hair other than the beard because there is a slight change in technique here. With our beard, I'm going to start by going up towards the face with a bit of grey. This will help blend the beard in with the face. And then I'm going to blend down with the grey, like so, making the middle section a little bit darker for each little bit of the beard, like so. And this is going to help sort of blend the beard onto the face a little bit so it's not such a harsh transition. And it's also going to help sort of shade in those different areas of the beard. And you can leave some of these lighter and some of them darker depending on how you want it to look. That's pretty much the technique for the beard. Now that your hair and beard are done, we can start doing a bit more black shading. So pretty much you're just doing your regular method of black shading here, going into any areas that you want heavily shadowed. Now we are using a second tone shortly, so you know, only really your darkest areas need to be black shaded. You don't need to do like your mid-tones with black or anything. So just picking your darker shades, the little side bits of the nose there where the cheek sort of joins the nose. Inside this chin area can be a little bit darker, like so. In this case I'm going to do the top lip underside primarily black, and just blend that up to grey towards the top. A little bit above each eyelid is going to work well. And into the side bit of the nose here. Like this. Now I also want to add a little bit of black shading just underneath the thorns here on the head. And we can do a little bit of black shading down in the neck as well. So in this little V shape, it's going to be fairly heavily shaded. Coming up like that. And in the other little shape on the side here, the collarbone sort of area, or the side of the neck area I should say, it can be shaded in, a little bit of black shading in there. Now I'm going to do a little bit of shading off the underside of the beard here, where it would be quite dark. And then I'm going to do some black shading off each of the folds in the sort of collared area here of the clothing. Now as for black shading our design, that's pretty much it. We've got a couple of colors here to go into. There's not that much going on here. I'm going to start off with our brown. This is just like a light brown, and I'm using that as our main skin tone. Now I don't really want to go too intense with it. I just want to keep these shades quite light and kind of just come off the feathering of your black shading for most of these skin toned areas. Still leaving quite a bit of white of the paper, which is, you know, one of the classic looks with traditional style portraits. A lot of the time they'll do a little bit of color right off their whip shading, but they'll really use a lot of the skin, the natural skin of the person that they're tattooing, to fill in the rest of the color. The only other little bit of brown that we're doing is in the eyes. So just coming down from the top of each eye, like so, leaving a little area of white at the bottom for a highlight. And it's at this point you can actually bring a white pencil in if you'd like, and work that highlight in. The white pencil will actually help blend your brown a little bit, so that's going to give you a little bit softer of a look in the eyes. Now we're going to take our red. This is actually a crimson red, and I'm using that for the little blood droplets that we did. Just a little bit of red in them. I like to sort of leave a little bit of white on the outside border of them. Makes them look kind of glossy. And now for the robe as well. And again, it's the same technique. We're doing pretty much traditional style, coming down off of our black shading with our color, and then blending our color to the color of the skin or the white of the paper if you're doing this as a piece of flash. Now I'm also going to use a bit of that red to create a background glow on this guy. Pretty much just adding a little bit of red to some small areas and softening them out or blending them out to create a bit of a background glow. This is pretty common with traditional style tattoos. I really like the way it looks. It gives it that traditional aesthetic. Makes it look real nice. Okay, your last two colors are going to be a olive green, and it's kind of like a mustardy yellow color, and we're using that for our thorn vines here. So we're going to start off with the mustard yellow here, and just color in all my thorns, sort of whipping the shading back down into the vine a little bit. And now you can take your olive green and fill in the vines. And that is it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you give it a go. You'll have to let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for new videos. And with that having been said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, bye-bye. If you like the content that I make and you'd like to support the channel, make sure you smash that like button. And hey, while you're at it, check out one of these other great videos.